Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this beautiful day in Kansas City. I am Dr. Chuck Eddy. I'm the event chair for this wonderful groundbreaking celebration that we're going to be doing today for our monument for the greater Kansas City, the native sons of Greater Kansas City. Monument that will be going up here and hopefully completed by mid-November. All of you that are here have had some type of part in this great monument that has come together. I am so pleased to be able to introduce this year's president of the Native Sons and Daughters. Ladies and gentlemen, our president, Diane Bowes Pepper.
Good morning. John Hass, our past president, and I thank you for coming out on this beautiful warm morning. I am very honored to be president of the Native Sons and Daughters this year. It's a very exciting. We're celebrating our 85th year this year. So the mission of the Native Sons and Daughters of Greater Kansas City is dedicated to the historical preservation of the unique and rich heritage of Greater Kansas City metropolitan area, both in Missouri and Kansas, through advocacy, education, and restoration. It seeks to preserve and maintain archives of historical interest relating to the development of the Kansas City region, and to recognize individuals who have resided therein and contribute to such development. Along with over 28 other projects that we support today, the Native Sons began their first major restoration project in 1937 with their work on the Union Cemetery. They continued working with the city for 25 years to preserve and enhance the cemetery. They began their work with Fort Osage in 1940 when they sponsored a call to create an association to preserve and mark the site. On September 11, 1948, the fort was dedicated to the Native Sons on June 1, 1963. It was dedicated as a registered National Historical Landmark. Another early project is the Alexander Majors House and Russell Majors Waddell Park at 83rd Street and State Line in Kansas City, Missouri. We also created the Outstanding Kansas Citian Award in 1973. 43 citizens have received this award. This year we are honoring Alvin Brooks, who is also celebrating his 85th year. And we will be recognizing the Kansas City Metropolitan Crime Commission with one of our historical markers. Thank you to my board and to the Monument Committee today, and to all of you for coming. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane. I'd like to introduce the rest of the officers of the Native Sons and Daughters at this time. They'll just kind of wave or stand if they're sitting. Our first Vice President is Steve Knoll. Our second Vice President is Nancy Elder. Our Treasurer is Jim Flanagan. John Dunawin is our Secretary. Dick Ruttram, our Historian. And as Diane said, our immediate past President is John Hess. The man that put us this whole idea on the map and got us started down this path the last 4 years was President in 2013. Yeah, he was President. Ladies and gentlemen, he doesn't really need an introduction. He's a past Parks Commissioner. He's a past restaurateur. He's a past just about anything you want to say. He is one of my best friends, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Carl DeCapo.
Thank you so very much. And you know, why are we here today? Because it's Bill Dunn's birthday. You know, basically, try to understand that I love this city. I love this city. We have approximately 50 outstanding Kansas Cityans that we've honored. And we were sitting here 5 years ago and I asked, why? Where do we honor these people? Well, we got it in book. Where do we honor these people? Where do we honor the great people that made this great city? We don't have one. We're going to build one. And that was the last thought that you ever heard and thought of it. Right behind me was the Native sons and daughters. They said, if you can do it, go for it. And I got a telephone. Jack, take care of my son Jack. Come here. Come here, take care of my phone, would you please? So anyway, you know, let's do this. Let's do this. Well, sitting across from me was a young man by the name of Gary Hicks, who was Black and Beach. I said, Gary, can you build a monument? Sure. Okay. I said, Chuck, can you take care of the political part? Sure. Everyone in the audience said, let's do something. Very good. So we did. I went to city manager, I saw the Troy Schulte, and asked him, I said, do we need one? He says, from what you're telling me, it would be a great thing. A great thing. So we basically put this together, and they figured at that time that we'd go up by Liberty Memorial and put a little small monument up. Cost about $50,000, and we'd be able to do it in a short period of time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was 5 years ago. We've been all over the city. I felt like Moses, that I could not land, couldn't land. Everywhere we went, they found a reason we couldn't be there. So finally here, about 3 months ago, I went and talked to Troy Schulte, and I said, tell me what we can do. He said, I'll put you on Independence Avenue and Paseo. I said, no, you won't. I'll put you at 135th Street. No, you won't. I said, I want to be right here. He says, you can't put it in City Hall. All right? Let's take a look out the window. I said, look at this park, the most beautiful park in Kansas City. The federal building's there, the city hall's there, and we could put it right in the middle. And we would be honoring your great people. He says, okay with me. He gets on the phone, he calls Mark McHenry, our park commissioner, and Nita Gorman, our park commissioner, and said, wait a minute. So he showed us another 5 or 6, but we decided to be here. If you look here now, it looks like we've been here, it should have been here all the time. This is a great place. Great place to do this. I want to call Gary up for just a moment. He's going to tell you specifically what this thing represents and who. Gary Hicks, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you, Carl. I would like to clarify, when Carl looked over at me at our board meeting, he didn't ask me if I was going to do this and could do it. He said, and Gary's going to design it for me. So that was the first I knew about it. But what an opportunity, my goodness. And that was over 4 years ago. I began this remarkable journey on a project with Carl to capture his vision, to erect a monument dedicated to those who've gone before us, who settled this land, who planted the seeds and wove the fabric of our heritage, of the greater Kansas City metropolitan area. And today we break the ground for a monument dedicated to the Native sons and daughters of greater Kansas City. As I began my journey to create the conceptual design for the monument, my thoughts were how to capture the essence of an area whose heritage extends back centuries, whose regional population today nears 2.5 million people, and is comprised of over 60 ethnic groups. How to recognize early cultures, or to capture our role in the Western movement of our nation, or to recognize those leading businesses and entrepreneurs who created a diverse and stable economy extending back to the early 1800s that we so enjoy in our area, or to capture the essence of that which has made Kansas City known as the heart of America, of its grandeur, of its vast appreciation for arts, sports, and barbecue, or its international influence on agriculture, science, and research, and its value held to education, and to recognize the preservation efforts of those dedicated to preserve the historic record of our past. It is to all this what the monument represents, and to which this conceptual design was born. The monument features the figure of a tower in a classic 5-pointed star design, symbolizing excellence, achievement, ideology, creeds, and security. The star will be 5 feet 6 from point to point, extending to a height of 16 feet. And this imposing tower will provide 10 exposed spaces around this perimeter, representing the 10 regional counties within the mission area of the Native Sons and Daughters of Greater Kansas City. These counties include in Kansas, Leavenworth, Wyandotte, Johnson, and Miami. In Missouri, Platte, Clay, Cass, Ray, thank you, Carl, Jackson, Lafayette. Yeah, Carl's always there for us. The 5 points of the star tower represent truly the mission of the Native Sons and Daughters. Historic preservation, education, advocacy, charity, and certainly to maintain the general welfare of our greater Kansas City area. The tower's height represents the goodness of character found here in our area, with virtues such as wisdom, knowledge, courage, humanity, justice, temperance, and transcendence. Upon each of the 10 sides of the tower, a panel will be mounted to describe the primary characteristics of our region's heritage. 10 panels. Grandeur, early cultures and explorers, western expansion, transportation, agriculture, entrepreneurs. We have several of those right in front of us here. Arts and education, science and research, sports, and of course the Native Sons and Daughters of Greater Kansas City. The large plaza area where you stand now will be paved with granite slabs, inscribed with themes such as the past presidents of our organization, the Native Sons and Daughters, recipients of our Outstanding Kansas City Award, and I know we have several recipients here today of that particular award. The leading industries and businesses established here in the greater Kansas City area, and the names of those many sponsors who support have made this project possible, and also those who wish to place their mark once again upon the heritage of our city with their inscription. The committee which Carl has assembled is among the finest Kansas City has to offer. The architectural firm of BNIM and J.E. Dunn Construction. All on the committee have grasped Carl's vision to make this monument a reality as another star in the crown of our proud Kansas City region. This monument project is one of the noblest tasks to which I have ever been engaged. I'm proud to say that. In my career as an engineer, I built towards the future. As a historian, a project such as this has allowed me to build upon our past. This monument honors the best of our past and its heritage bequeathed to us. It is now our duty to preserve this heritage for present and future generations. So thank you, Carl, for your vision and the trust placed in me to capture that vision, as well as the many others who've been involved in this. And so with that, we are ready to break some ground for this new monument. Not yet. We're getting close, Carl.
Let me go back again. Just last Thursday, we lost two great men, Jim Nutter and Neil Patterson. Did they die? No, they didn't die. There's an old Jewish proverb that if you're remembered, you never die. And I've got all these great friends that are here today that are not going to die. If you want to understand how and what, think about some of the things that have happened. They came to us and said they were going to close the Starlight Theater. They ran out of money. And this young lady says, that's like cutting off my right arm. We'll not let that happen. When they also said that they were going to put a ditch down through the plaza, the young lady says, no you don't, we're going to put a river wall. When just recently we had 46 fountains and 6 of them worked, 40 of them didn't, she chaired with Pat O'Neill and that group, raised $4 million. That's the kind of people that Anita Gorman is. when you have two young Jewish boys that sat there and had an idea, and we thought it will work, my uncle and the rest said, sure, go for it. And they went for it. Well, it's all over the United States and all over the world today. If you were like me and you like paintings and you like the Renaissance, you never got a chance to see them unless you go to Paris. They brought them here. When you think about some of the things that have happened, the greatest fountain in the Midwest is here in front of the Union Station. If you find out that this young man says, I want to help the poor, and he's doing it. My friend Henry Block. And if you think about today, here about 20 years ago, a gentleman called me and said, would you help me with something? You need to help me. And we've been going over 40 some different places today, helping people. Bill Dunn and his family, and he's got great boys. They're great boys, and they're all here today. And if you want something done in Kansas City, they say there's one place you can go to, Terry Dunn, and he'll get it done for you. And that's because he's got a marvelous wife that's the mayor of Leawood. How would you like to be mayor of Leawood? Ladies and gentlemen, these are some of the great people we have. Now, have your name on there. My name's going to be on there. I want your names to be on there. If anybody wants to have their name on this monument, we can put it for you. And we're not going to sell you a brick. We've got granite for you with your name, so that you never die. People will come here. I can't wait for the young students to come here. And in 1 hour, they will know more about Kansas City than anyone standing here, because it's all in this monument. And it doesn't stand for us, it stands for the native sons, because the fact that that's what we've been trying to do for the last 58 years. Longer, 85 years. And we're doing that. And what we're trying to do, we put placards out. Every place that you think should go, goes there. If you'd like to join us, we'd love to have you as one of the members. This place here, once a month in the evening, we will have a person telling you about one of the great people or one of the things that happened in Kansas City. We'll supply the Italian sausage, naturally, and we'll have water for you. But we would like to have you come and understand that we are Kansas City. Thank you so very much. God bless you.
That's why he's my best friend. Carl DiCapo. The next dignitary I'd like to introduce. This project really couldn't have moved forward and happened without his leadership and guidance. Ladies and gentlemen, the Director of Parks and Recreation for the City of Kansas City, Missouri, Mr. Mark McHenry.
Thank you very much, Chuck. I do appreciate that introduction, and I harken back to about 15 years ago in this park. It was kind of a chilly day in November, but it was sunny, like today, and we dedicated a statue and a monument to former Mayor Ike Davis. And of course, that stands on this property just to the south, and I'm sure people have looked at that and enjoyed it now for the last 15 years. And this park was also a labor of love for the KC Park Board. Those who may remember, this was a parking lot and some old buildings, and it really didn't look very well. And through the leadership of the Park Board and then City Manager Bob Collins, the park became a park. We were transported into a great piece of green space here in the heart of Kansas City, and I think we all enjoy it today and look on it fondly and the memory of Ike Davis and what this park means to our park system today. The 85 years, Native Sons, you are to be congratulated for 85 years. But I will also say KC Park Board's 125 years old. I kind of think it says it up here on the podium. And so 40 years from now, Native Sons, we'll be at 125. I'm glad Carl introduced Anita, former member of the Park Board, who's with us today. And of course, Carl, obviously a former member of the Park Board. We also have 2 members of the current Park Board with us. Park Board President Jean-Paul Charon and Park Commissioner Alan Dillingham. 3 other commissioners, Dave Mecklenburg wasn't able to join us, along with Commissioner Shannon Cade. And I will announce that our other park commissioner, Mary Jane Judy, had a boy yesterday. So she is a new mother, and so probably a little quick to bring a newborn to an outdoor event today. So I'm going to ask Alan to come up here in a moment. Before I do that, though, I do want to mention Casey Cassius's name. As Gary mentioned earlier, he was the engineer. But every project, of course, needs a good engineer. They need a good architect. That's Casey Cassius, BNIM. Wasn't able to join us today. And then, of course, we need a good contractor. And we've mentioned the Dunn group several times. And glad to see Mr. Dunn here today. And I see several representatives of J. Dunn Construction Company. There's David Disney's right behind me. And Gordon Langford's up there. And I see Steve and Terry. And there's probably enough Dunn guys here to build this thing today, Carl. We just need a few more tools, right? So anyway, congratulations to J. Dunn. Of course, they're doing our found restorations throughout the city right now and doing a great job. So they've kind of become our partner in many monuments and memorials throughout the city. Also, I know Peggy Dunn was mentioned earlier, Mayor Leewood. I understand Ryan Riley, the mayor of Fairway, is here also, and I'm going to wave your name. So glad to see you along with that. Carl was pointing out Dave and also mentioned Troy Schultz, who was not able to be here today. And the way this site got determined is if you go to 29th floor and look out the window from Troy's office, and you go over here to Dunn headquarters and look out Dave Disney's window, and you cross their sight lines, this is the location. So that's how it got determined, as far as the location is concerned. So, with that, I see if I have Anna Marie Tutera from our staff is here today. I saw Lewis Cummings back in the back from our park operations. He maintains the park, so it's a pretty big part of what we do. And at this time then, I'm going to ask first Mayor Pro Tem Scott Wagner to come forward and make some comments. And then following Mayor Pro Tem Wagner's comments, I'd ask that Alan Dillingham come forward.
Well, good morning, everyone. No. Good morning. We are celebrating, correct? Then let's be in the celebratory mood, because this is a big day for the greater Kansas City native sons and daughters of Kansas City, as well as this city. I feel very fortunate to be with you here today because I was a member of this fine organization for a lot of years, and then I took some job that takes a lot of my time. And although Carl, he keeps whipping out a form every time I see him, and I suspect there's still one in his pocket that I'll see before I leave here today. Yeah, and there it is. But this is important for a number of reasons, many of which have already been stated. But I am grateful to all of you for being here, because when I came on this organization as a volunteer, the first thing that I worked on was going out to the various festivals at Penn Valley Park to help raise money for the Liberty Memorial, and to sell as many bricks as I could, as many bumper stickers as I could, really anything. Short of my soul, I was prepared to take whatever I could for money to help with that fine project. And lo and behold, look at what's there today. I was able to help as we would try to publicize all of the signs, all of the markers that we would put across the city to recognize the various stories of our city and who made those events occur. So it seems only natural and right to finally tell the story of the people behind the stories. And that's what we are celebrating here today. Because it doesn't happen by accident. We don't propel the stories of this city generation to generation because we hope that they will be expressed by someone. Somebody and a group has to do it. And that is what the Native Sons and Daughters are all about. So I know that I'm one of the last speakers that keep the dirt from flying, so I'm going to stop there. But on behalf of Mayor James, on behalf of this City Council, and most of all on my own behalf, I thank you for the work that you do, that you continue to do, and what we are going to celebrate and build and celebrate again just a few months from now. Thank you all very much.
As Alan was walking his way, I did spot Pat O'Neill back there, and Pat's role, of course, is the chairman of the City of Fountains Foundation, and they've been a great part of helping to manage this project as well. So Pat, shout out to Pat O'Neill. Alan, join me.
Well, good evening, everybody. That breeze feels nice. It's good to be here with you all today. I appreciate the opportunity to make a few remarks. As we said over the last, I guess, few weeks ago, at the Parks Board meeting, we talked about this and formalized the whole thing. And it's been a circuitous route to get here today, but we're here, and I think this is a great spot for this memorial. It's going to be a great tribute to our city. As we all know, we all stand on the shoulders of the people that gone before us. All of their endeavors, all their successes is where we start. And it's our duty, our job in life is to take that torch and go forward from there. So this monument will represent everything about Kansas City, the history, everything that has come before us, so we can come here and see that and learn about that, and then we can see and think about what can become. So thank you for the Native Sons for all you've done. Carl, Chuck, Gary, everybody who's done this, for your persistence in making this happen. Of course, for the Dunn family, J.E. Dunn, for all you do for this community. It's absolutely amazing, and here's another thing that you're helping out with. So thank you so much to everybody. That's the Kansas City spirit, that we all work together and get things done. And so I'm excited for ribbon cutting here in just a few months. And thank you very much.
We really appreciate Alan's help on putting this all together. He was one of the first ones we contacted when we started to move forward on this 4 years ago. For the last 4 years, the committee for the monument has been working hard to bring us to today's groundbreaking. And of course, you know, our chair was Mr. Carl DeCapo. Gary Hicks served on the committee, along with Ross Marshall, John Hess Jr., Diane Pepper, and myself. Would you all please rise and let us thank you for your service. Thank you for your help. The construction team, as you already have been announced, is of course J.E. Dunn, BNIM, Casey Kaysen, and Adam Reichman helped a great deal, and our design team for that. Red Quill Communications, Steph Henderkamp is helping us with the communications part. Kansas City Parks and Rec couldn't do it without them. And Heidi, I want to send out a special thanks for you making this happen today. I know you're here. There she is. Thank you, Heidi, and all of the Parks Department for helping us today. The membership of Native Sons and Daughters of Greater Kansas City contains a new group that we started a couple of years ago called the Founders. And we have a number of the founder members here that are their members that their businesses started in Kansas City and are still continuing throughout the years. And I know Memory Productions is here, one of the founders. All the founders members that are here, please stand or raise their hands. I know there's a number of them there. Let's thank them for being here, their contribution. And I also want to recognize all of the members of the Native Sons and Daughters. Would you please raise your hand? There you go. That's what we want to see. It's time for us to do a little bit of work. Carl, are you ready? The shovels are here. I'm going to call our major contributors to the groundbreaking to start off with, and then we're going to let anybody who wants to turn dirt do so afterward. But these are the people that helped us get to our goal of have $500 million, $500,000 what it's going to take to build this. I'd like to call Mr. Bill Dunn, Bob Dunn, Henry Block, Kay Cullison, Julia Irene Kaufman, Bill Hall, Kevin Pastelli, Gary Hicks, Kent Sunderland, and Tom Ward to the pit. And we're going to do this in shifts. We'll do the first 6 and then the next. David will help you get your caps on. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a Kodak moment. I like to see that hat going on. It means we're in a construction area.
Carl? Good.
We got room for 2 more. Let's get Diane, would you please come forward? Diane Pepper Bowes. Diane Bowes Pepper, I'll get it right. John Hess Jr., you're the immediate past president. Would you please come forward? All right, we do this systematically. So we dig all the right spot. We don't disturb any dirt that doesn't need to be disturbed. We'll do it on the count of 3. Are we ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. There we go. We've turned the dirt. We're starting. Thank you so very much. These are the gentlemen that help. I'd like to have Anita Gorman please come up. And if she'd like to turn the shovel, along with the rest of the committee that hasn't had a chance. And of course our Mayor Pro Tem and Alan. Scott, if you'd like to do a shovelful for us. Great job, guys. Need 2 more. Doc Brenner, you're one of any of our past presidents. Mark McHenry, please.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. We got him right here. That's good. Good. There you go. Here we go.
Okay, we'll do it on the count of 3 again. Now they softened it up a little bit, so it should be easier. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Good job. Thank you so much. And anyone else who would like to turn or shovel of dirt today, we'll get a picture of you. Please come forward. We want Terry and Peggy to please come forward. And Kevin, we called you earlier. Come on. And the Mayor of Fairway, would you please come forward?
Well, temporarily I could have.
Got any more room right now?
Very
Or we might
temporarily.
wait for the next round. Okay.
You got one more, please?
We're full.
We'll do the next round. All right, ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. Good job. Okay, the next group.
Stay there.
Doc, Ross, Norman, Steve. Steve Dunn. Carl wants you up here. Well, we're putting this next group together. Want everybody to remember we've got some refreshments that Carl has provided for. Thanks to Constantino's Price Chopper and Parks and Rec have done the cooking. And a special thanks to our own Dick Ruttram for making sure everything got here. Had to make 2 trips to get them all. God bless you. And Anna Marie Tutera, thank you for all your help with that. And Melinda, thanks for cooking it. There we go. David, you got to try it.
All right, I'm ready. All right. Let's go.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Good job.
Steve, you've done that before.
Once or twice.
I'm going to take a picture of you.
Get a picture here again. There we go. Anyone else would like to do so, please come forward.
Thanks for being here. I'll take care of it.
Anna Marie.
I'm going to be on the far left.
Anna Marie.
I don't know. It's all good. Thank you.
Can you go through there?
Put a hat on. That's get up there.
Can you make it?
There you go.
Come on through.
Perfect. Let's make sure.
I don't want anybody to get hurt. We got one more shovel open. Come on, Dick.
And one more. There you go. Try to take it. One more.
One more is open. Come on. Pop, come on, please. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Dig a scoop. Good job. Great job. Thank you.
Hold on. Let me get a picture. For the picture.
Get a picture.
Picture.
Mess your hair up.
Yeah, it's already messed up.
My wife and I walked in the Wilburn.
Thank you all. Anybody else would like to turn a scoop of dirt for us? We keep doing this, we're going to have this thing dug.
That's what it began.
Well, please help yourself to the hot dogs and refreshments in the corner up there. And again, thank you to Dick Ruttram and Parks and Rec and Constantino's Price Chopper for providing the wonderful Italian sausage and hot dogs. Until our dedication, which will take place hopefully in mid-November, we will see you very, very soon. Our OKC event, Outstanding Kansas City event, will take place at the Grand Ballroom of the Convention Center on November the 14th, Tuesday evening at 6 o'clock. Plan to be there. Alvin Brooks is our honoree, and we would love for you to be there to help us honor him. Thank you so much. We are adjourned.